welcome back to episode 4 of the Hermes Agent Boot Camp. All right, without squirrel ado, let's get started, shall we? Now, before we truly get started, we're going to let chat fill up. Forgive the delayed start this morning. It's been an eventful Monday morning. How's everyone doing this week? Make sure we're live. Without squirrel. All right, we are good. We can actually put that a little bit further away. That's a little too loud, eh? Looking good. Yo, what's up, Sharma? How we doing today? Yeah, eventful morning. Had a lot to do this morning and ultimately had to delay 15 minutes and then another 15 minutes. So if you're just watching this recording and you came here for the boot camp, fast forward a few minutes. We'll get started here in a moment. This is the slate skin. So we talked about how to edit skins in episode 1. But if you go over to system, or forgive me, config, and you type in skin, it's under display. But this is where you can select the 4 pre-built skins for the TY here. Default is that yellow. I want to say Aries is like an orange red. Mono should be black and white from what I remember given the name. But slate is a fun one. It's honestly kind of like my favorite because it's the Clearmud blue, you know, in a way. So as you can see, look, some of our automations rolling today. All these sessions kicking off. So we'll check on those in a moment. Wonderful. Yeah, today's all about fine tuning. So if you have any specific questions that we didn't cover in the boot camp, today's the day. Today's the day for us to apply those, test those. We're going to test out the Sandbox SaaS in a moment. Let's actually go take a peek. Hard to refresh. Okay, listen, the hero header leaves much to be desired for. Ooh. Okay, I'm loving how this one's looking. Curious to go play with that. That's actually a good question. Let's see if I can't get things rolling with that. I did check with Neo. Let's go check Agent Atlas. Status. Let me I told him to make sure it's ready and create a repository. Did he create a repository? He did not. I labeled it. Oh no, he did. Look at this. Hermes Agent Atlas. So this was actually 2 days ago. There should be a commit from yesterday. I guess not. Huh? Yeah, it's not fully updated, but what we can try to do is just implement it into this demo account, see what happens. I'm chatting with Neo right now. It looks like he did have an issue. The model provider failed after retries. I don't know what was going on at this moment in time on the 11th, but I'll make sure we get that up and running, and that way we can at least start beta testing. Yo, what's up, Ryan? How we doing today? Yo, Sean. Happy Monday, sir. All right. Now, I'm curious. What broke? What works? So, why does it say 723? Is the system date on that VM all... Do you know? Looks like we did have a minor little glitch. We have that darn sound card enabled again. I really have to shut this thing down just to disable the sound card. Because disconnecting it there does not always work. Interesting. That is, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but got to figure out why it's saying 723. Because it's the 13th. Preview prototype. Ooh, this is a fun looking site. I love this high contrast. What do you call this? What do you define this kind of look? All right, what are we looking at here? Fill the gap without pretending it's booked. Turn one fictional grooming cancellation into a precise versioned outreach question. Time duration can narrow the slate. A person still decides what happens next. Ooh, yeah, I love its design decision. I'm a big fan of these like high contrast, super dense modules with the shadows. Ooh. That's just a little quick teaser. That's what my personal OpenClaw system is. It's this look. All right. Okay, just let us know what's open for the day. Okay. Okay, I see the approach, right? This isn't, you know, this is all demo data, but I see the approach. I would want to simplify this a bit more, but cool. And we would obviously have to do integrations for dark mode. Looks good as well. Could be improved, but still looks good. Let's, I'm very curious. Why do you, wait, let's first ask, what's the date and time right now? So why is it these Sandbox SaaS entries are labeled as 10 days ahead of today? For example, today's morning build says 7:23. Let's also check out this pop-up. So I love that it doesn't force us to scroll down anymore, right? We grab it, pops up, gives us a preview. Late cancellations can leave short grooming opening, right? And this is specific for grooming, pet grooming, right? But you can apply this to any industry, right? Service duration during independent grooming salon owners operate. Okay, that's who it's for. Pain point late cancellations can leave a short grooming opening while slated waitlist availability and service duration remains scattered. Product hypothesis. I feel like this should be up top. The manifesto should be at the top. All right, quick TLDR of what this is. An empty chair is urgent. A guest booking is worse. Love that. If anything, manifesto goes up, hypothesis stays where it's at. So one thing I want to improve on the Sandbox SaaS when I'm previewing, you know, the product brief, at the top it says who it's for, pain point, then product hypothesis, and then manifesto. I think manifesto should be the first row, then who it's for and pain point, then the hypothesis, product, and commercial evidence. Those can stay at the bottom. Don't only, I want you to both fix all existing entries to follow this theme, but also moving forward, all daily entries should follow this theme. Oh, that's right. Open whisper flow. Just give me 1 second. Just kind of working through this. Hold on, I got to reply to Supermicro here. Okay. Okay, you caught a real labeling bug. It's not a clock or time zone problem. Okay, during our test to force run, I first assigned catalogs. Got it. So it was the slots. Got it. And then let's apply that little fix I didn't prompt in there yet. Oh, welcome back, Trot. How we doing today? Today is all about fine tuning. We're just testing out the automation that kicked off. It's working. Our little Sandbox SaaS, our micro SaaS factory, pretty nifty stuff. And we're just kind of tweaking a few little bugs I noticed. But let's also go take a look at the Bootcamp page. Let's go look at episode 4. I don't know. All right, today we will play with the desktop as well. What is this Agent OS? My agents like put together this curriculum. I'm not sure where they got it from. I mean, these are great copy paste templates, but all right, we might just wing today's episode. Ah, very nice. Very nice. I cannot wait to get a haircut. I'm committed with this hair. You know, you spend so long growing it out. It's not an easy decision to cut it off. But one of these days, I'll be able to run my fingers through my hair. It's been since 2016. I started growing out my hair. And then in 2019, during a travel to India and Nepal, that's when I got the dreadlocks put in, or locked. You know, that's when I got my hair locked up. Are they really? Listen, the beta version works great for me. Beta version works great for me. So just a heads up on that. I think I'm using the 7 point something beta 2. I think they're on like beta 6 or beta 8 of the same version right now. But the beta 2 is all you needed to have 5.6 integration work again. Or work to begin with. Yo, good evening, Mr. Baker. How we doing today? All right, let's go back to, yeah, for those of you who missed it yesterday, we created this micro SaaS factory. It wasn't perfect out the gate. Listen, it's still not perfect, but the core of it is working. And as you can see this morning, we woke up to an awesome prototype for pet grooming. Now, you could apply this micro SaaS to pretty much any industry, right? But it's just really cool. It's really cool. And then you can preview the prototype and play with it. Right. It's strictly a local demo. This is just if you want to proceed with this, then you let your operator or your executive assistant know, hey, let's move slot signal down the pipeline. Let's actually turn this into a working SaaS. I love this. This is great. That's a slick toggle. How do you define that toggle? I want to use that across all of our websites, to be honest with you. That is so clean. I'm taking pictures of that. Nice. I do tea tree oil. I haven't done that yet, actually. I've heard apple cider vinegar and baking soda or something like that, but I just soak it in tea tree oil shampoo. Very minimal ingredients. I tried beta, but it bricked my system, so I rolled back rather than fighting through. Interesting. Sorry to hear that. That's good it was an easy rollback, though. Cheers to backups, eh? Okay, let's see. Agent Atlas. Okay, I wanted to confirm a few things before we start sharing this. Agent Atlas is not modifying Hermes core system data. Audited the live code, runtime behavior, file system boundaries. Great. 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 All right, let's test, shall we? And we're also going to multitask. We'll slowly get the desktop app up and running as well. Okay, let's just go review its changes really quickly. Nice. Manifesto should be up top. Looking good. Looking good. Happy with it. Awesome. Now let's see. Which one was 4? So if we go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it still has that little date issue labeling. Thought it fixed it for me. All right, and in Telegram, let's, all right. Now, let's set up this plugin on our system, please. I know, Mr. Baker. Read the docs, do it manually, but no. So, I mean, we've built the platform. You're more so talking about everything that happens before it decides what to build. Is that what you're referencing? Because building a separate platform for this, I feel like would be redundant in this case, right? It's kind of unnecessary. I think we should just, I think we should just improve the first part of that pipeline, the research pipeline, the validation part of that pipeline, right? And I feel like that is something we can incorporate here. Maybe we incorporate it into this section here. I mean, it's really following the same kind of structure here. That's interesting. Need to close that. Yeah, for anybody curious, this is where if you were to manually do it, you could just paste in the git here and hit install. Interesting. Let me take that off screen because it's still trying to connect to an old setup. Oh, and it tries to reconnect, so I couldn't even change anything. Darn desktop app. Yeah, so I actually dropped a video about this, my AI. And I show the step-by-step on how I got my... let's go take a look, shall we? This one right here. This video right here breaks down the step-by-step of how to get... Now, this example is OpenClaw and Hermes Agent, right? But the way I accomplish it is Discord. Obviously, if you don't already have a bot token for Discord, you would have to create one. But if you already do, then this video walks us through how to set up. And, you know, it's not perfect. We vibe our way through the fix. The video kind of shows the flaws in the process where you have to enable certain, you have to create certain rules of thumb to where it will actually talk and respond back to the other agent. But you do also have to implement some guardrails and things like that. But I have a 34-minute video here that walks us through how to do that. So I will go ahead and post that in chat. Clear mode? What is this clear mode? Interesting, weird little typo. I wonder if that was my whisper flow. No, I mean, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Oh, did I not verify my GitHub account here? That could be why. All right, we'll try to do this manually. Enable after restall, after install, detail, git clone failed. All right, so let's go ahead and just make this public momentarily. Keep in mind, this is still very much in beta. So please use at your own risk. I don't think it would break your system, but nevertheless, I just understand it's still in beta. All right, there's no save button, right? Yep, we're all good. Was it that quick? There was like no loading here. Should I just hard refresh this page? There's no way it was that quick. It would be here, right? Guess I'll just search. Let's minimize this. Is there really no search feature for the plugins? Or am I blind? Interesting. Okay, already exists. So maybe it's still going through its flow. Should be coming up any second. I doubt we have to enable anything manually. But you know, let's just go check. Huh. Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't come up. Maybe I guess try refreshing. One more time. So they do have a search just at the top right. Yeah, it's not in here. But when I try to reinstall it, it says it exists. So maybe we'll do a force reinstall. Hermes Agent Atlas installed. Nope. Yeah, this is why, you know, that's one approach. I don't like, my agents don't talk to each other unless I trigger it or unless it's scheduled. And the schedule is usually triggered by a topic or a reason behind it. And then once they find the solution or reach that endpoint of that conversation, they don't continue. I don't just have them communicating every morning back and forth by themselves, having a mind of their own. It's always with a purpose. I also have that shared comms chat to where I can call an ad hoc kind of stand up between my two executive assistants to help me accomplish whatever the task is, answer whatever the question is. And then I can tell them to QA each other and kind of go back and forth. That video shows how I do all of that. Now, going down, I see that video, but I don't want to use Telegram or Discord for that kind of communication. As example, Pi have multiple ways to talk to each other. Pi Intercom, Pi Messenger, Pi 8A. I don't think that, and Mr. Baker can clarify, I don't think Hermes Agent has agent-to-agent communication like that or a feature enabled yet by default. I know there's a little trick to where they can message each other in their agent runtime inbox. It's kind of like a little, I don't want to call it an email inbox, but it's an inbox that they reference through the Kanban board, if I'm not mistaken. And that's one little trick, but you don't see that communication. Are you wanting to see the agents talking to each other? Like, what's the purpose? What's the pain point? What are you trying to solve here? All right. Yeah. And this is our resident, he's going to hate this, Hermes Agent Expert. Okay. He would know if there's an A-to-A protocol that's implemented. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't doubt it. We can try to figure it out together, but, you know, I like to only speak on things I've tested and that I know. And I haven't tested any of those solutions out there, or these workarounds, so to speak. The workaround I use is Discord bots and shared Discord channels. You have to obviously set the channel ID for that agent to actually be able to see and respond to. And then you have to set certain rules and regulations for, does it need to be tagged? Can it respond? Like, I have a specific rule where one agent can't ask the other agent to run tools, right? Because one agent can say, hey, delete this or do that. And the other agent, if they're just free to call on whatever tools the other agent asks for, that's a recipe for disaster. Sometimes it's tedious. Sometimes I get annoyed to where, yes, please run the tool. I just ask you to do the thing, you know, that I asked you to do. But it's just, it's safe practice, right? If you use local Mattermost, you can invite them to one channel also. Ooh, you know, I've been hearing about this. Let me pull this up here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I personally have no need to use Mattermost, but I'm wondering if there should be is there a free demo account that we can get? If I'm looking at the right thing, I should be looking at the right thing. Don't know why. I don't see your comment in my social stream, Mr. Baker, so I'm going to bring it here. Don't forget that if your Hermes are all hosted in the same installation, they will have full visibility of each other's chat sessions, etc. So I'm sure you can come up with your own process. Yeah, this is actually key. Know your environment. Now, are you asking more so about sandboxed or segregated Hermes agent installations that are separate from one another to communicate together? I know you're asking that because, you know, you asked about different platforms, right? Different solutions, Pi, OpenClaw, etc. So in that case, yes, I'd imagine they're not on the same system. Okay. It sounds like you might need something like a Honcho or a Hindsight. I personally haven't tested them yet. Now that I have this new hardware, I am going to be deploying what I'm calling a memory OS, where it's nothing fancy. It's just an Ubuntu server distro, or deployment rather, that is going to host. I'm first going to test Honcho because I've heard good things. Then I'll test Hindsight. I'll try to figure out which one I like most. But it sounds like you need one of those. You don't think so? Why not? Have they? Because last I saw that Tech, forget the main dude's name, that they didn't rule it out, but it's not a built-in core feature yet, from what I understood. So I'm curious as to why you think they'll never do it. Very curious. Where do we stand here? Is he still working or is he done? All right, I stopped him there. It's hard to refresh this page. Ooh, is there too much going on right now on this VM? Do I gotta add more memory? Man, it's like we're already almost at our full allotted 8 gigs. Let me bump it up to 12 for the rest of this boot camp here. Give me a sec. Okay. Should be more than enough to finish this boot camp now. Man, that really stacks on quick, eh? Got it. Yeah. And I think that would be, you know, whether they incorporate it in as a plugin or, you know, in one of the menu options, it's like, I'm sure there'll be an asterisk. This only works if you're trying to communicate with another Hermes agent system rather than agents within your system, agent to agent wise. All right, we should be good. Yep. Almost 12 gigs there. Hopefully I didn't interrupt too much with what he was doing down here. Hard to refresh, chat. I'm just gonna burn some tokens, have them restore the last session. 4. Okay, that's good. I'm sure somebody's working on something, right? Like, someone's got to be working on something. And if they're not, like, should we on our live streams? Still no Agent Atlas. Interesting. Oh, another little bug. One thing I noticed with restarting the VM, Sandbox SaaS didn't come back online. Anything we build like this internally should always come back online after a system reboot. Now, I could get more specific, but he'll figure out what to do. Yeah, this is also a great workaround as well. Oh, did they? Did we talk about this already? Am I having a brain fart? They did, didn't they? This was April of last year, it looks like. Okay. Okay. I feel like if anything, the move here is to feed this to your agent. Mr. Baker's fuming. Feed this to your agent. This is the thing that lists long before messaging platforms, but for work, you'll get tired pretty fast. They outgenerate your ability to comprehend. Yeah. Then it just turns into, like, it's one thing if you can trust what they're doing is within the lines of your guardrails, but like, or like the limits of your guardrails, but also like you don't want to give yourself another task to have to go and read those communications as well. That's why I personally like, I set mine up in a way to where I only communicate when I need to communicate, right? Hermes Agent, they're very intelligent with, especially with my day-to-day ops. It's like they communicate with each other by themselves. I don't need to monitor that, right? But it's all done through the Kanban primarily, in agent runtime inboxes. So it's, nice. I'm guessing we'll get it through that link, right? Yeah, right here. I mean, let's ask Yoda to look into this for us. Why not? Why not turn this into a little part of the fine tuning? Oh yeah, I'm sure. Right? It's a unique use case, but for sure it has its use cases. But I'm wondering if, based off your previous comment, if maybe a unified memory plugin might solve your problem. Because from what I understand, you just want unified context across all of your systems, right? It's not necessarily about the agent-to-agent comms. Where was that? Where was that comment? And maybe I'm misinterpreting. Gotta be worth a plugin, right? I mean, why not, right? We might have to add this to our list. Like, why not, right? I think so. Okay, that was 1050. All right, let me grab this, choose a provider later. Now I'm setting up the desktop. Let's go to 116. Could not reach this gateway yet. Check the URL. It is 116, right? Yeah. Sign in. I think we made this admin password, right? Yeah, we did. Demo account. Never do that, please, chat. Never have a user with the user admin and the password all lowercase on both sides. Just never do that, please. Yeah, if you're not in the Discord yet, come join. Clearmud.link will take you to this landing page. And second option down, join the Discord. Thank you, Mr. Baker. I should also maybe... I should probably just pin something, eh? Bam. I'll pin that comment as well. It's probably a good practice to start pinning a comment like this for live streams in general. I think we all do. Man. Man, can I squirrel a moment? You guys okay with that? Hard refresh. There it is. There's the Atlas. Okay. Atlas is not ready for public. At all. At all. It just pulled information about our other, like, yeah, that's what I was worried about. So please don't use, it is not ready yet. Let me, all right, so we do have a major issue. When I tried to load the Agent Atlas repository onto a fresh Hermes Agent system, there's no process of it trying to detect all of the agent profiles on the system itself. What it's showing me on a completely new system is our orchestrators Neo, our engineering is architect, our marketing is mouse, our growth is analyst, and then that whole clients section below with research down there. Like, this is an absolute mess. I think what we have to do is either incorporate a onboarding mechanism for first time use to where it downloads or synchronizes all of the agent profiles on the system we install it on, right? There should be none of this, I don't even know if bleed or hallucination is the right word, but there should be no data from our system on the Agent Atlas. The Agent Atlas pulls from whatever system it's installed on. So that's, we made a big mistake here when going through our QA to push this live. I could have sworn I asked Neo to check that, but here we are. So listen, we'll work through it. Don't install that yet. It's worthless at this point. All right, root cause installation used 2 different identifiers. Okay. I'm also going to feed this to Neo to let him know when we were installing it, we had a bit of an issue. Okay. All right. All right. This one's back online, so we should be good to go. It's labeled properly, built. Okay, great. Yeah, and it's showing built. There, we forced 5 of them in the same day. Okay. Now, this is where, like, let's say you're building your own factory. Let's go back to, I want to say it was Ryan's comment, or was it Sharma? I think it was Sharma. Could we make a micro SaaS platform that actually tests real demand before going ahead and building even a prototype? And if it fits, okay, so you more so want, now that I'm rereading this, I'm understanding what you're talking about. So you kind of want like a phase 0 to Sandbox SaaS. Right? You want like a research SaaS where it uses the last 30 days skill, which is my current favorite way of scraping. It finds a pain point, validates that pain point, and then gives you reasons that it would be a product market fit right now. It would let you know who the target audience is, et cetera, et cetera. Is that the type of automation you're looking for? And then from there, you review the list and then you choose which ones to build a prototype for. I think I'm understanding the question now. Let me know if that's what you were talking about. Because in theory, we could turn Sandbox SaaS into like a 2-part where research is done first and maybe it comes up with 10 ideas per day or 5 ideas per day. It validates them for us. And then we pick which ones it needs to build. I kind of like the idea of this current pipeline operating as is. So maybe we would clone it and do like a version 2.0, just so we're not interrupting this one. All good. All good. Thanks for taking the time to watch the live stream, man. All right, let's go back to Agent Atlas. Let's see where he's at. Okay. Discover the problem. API starts from hard-coded Clearmud default config containing all of our division structure. On a new installation, those defaults survive even when their profiles do not exist. The UI mix is real. Discover profiles with our organization. Okay. I mean, let me help troubleshoot that a little bit more. I don't even think it pulls up. Yeah, it doesn't even pull up. Okay. All right, what's next? Go pull up our checklist here. Yeah, I need to edit this episode 4 kit. It's actually outdated. We didn't edit this last night like I was supposed to. That's my bad. But there still are a few useful line items. Let me actually pull this up over here. So I'm going to have to edit this, obviously. Do we want to do a client pod isolation? Holographic Obsidian combination and retrieval boundaries. This might be a useful one to cover, eh? Oh, that's something we should also check on. Let's go check on our briefs this morning to see how they looked. 7 a.m., 6 a.m. All right. AI for general contractors. It looks like 3 a.m. it kicked off. Some research. Verdict. Proceed only with a narrow human reviewed. Let me see how that looks on screen. Can you guys see all that text? Should I make this larger? Oh, could we not magnify this? That's a bummer. I guess we can't. All right, it'll have to work. Settings, maybe? No? Maybe here? No. I tried doing Command Plus, which normally it'll increase text and decrease text with just system-wide, but nothing. All right, whatever. Hopefully you guys can read this. No problem. So let's review our automations to see if there's something we want to improve on. Verdict, proceed only with narrow human reviewed document or financial workflow pilot. Current evidence does not support autonomous estimating, scheduling, safety, or end-to-end project control. Decision, product, select one reversible pilot, RFI, submittal change order review, bid exception detection, or AP job cost reconciliation, engineering, require source provenance, permissions, exception flags. Okay. Treat the Agarv Series A as a commercial sign. I want to see links. Oh, read the detailed evidence report here. Nice. Okay, it does link us. It is scraping LinkedIn. All right, I would probably want to add a way to like, I don't know how often I would look at this, but I feel like web app might be overkill for this. I think I'll just do this for now. I mean, this is fine. This is like core, like, listen, if you wanted to improve on this in any way, like read detailed evidence report, you could create your own web app with a markdown render friendly preview. Let me know if you want to see me demo that today. We can. For me, for the sake of like what we've taught so far, I think we've given a solid foundation. But hey, if you want to see my approach in doing that, just let me know. Interview 5 to 8 estimators, project engineers, controllers, superintendents. Okay. Benchmark selected workflow on messy. Now, this is always something you can do. Like, one way to improve this would be find us 5 to 8 estimators, or let me rephrase that. Find us 20 to 30 estimators, project engineers, controllers, superintendents on LinkedIn that we can message and pay them for their time, for example. Obviously, try to do things for free, but you know, everyone's time is valuable. Engineering data, benchmark. Okay. I like it. This, I mean, this in itself, we already have a product, right? Like we have a couple of different product ideas here. I mean, these are big pain points. Like this is great. This is like super surface level, but this is great. I love it. Decision needed. Let's listen to the stand-up, shall we?
Decision. No candidate selection or build is authorized. Material exception. The live weekday participant policy still includes marketing head, contrary to the approved allow list. Operations must fail acceptance and correct the roster before this meeting can close. Research and engineering should provide evidence and feasibility only.
Next action. Research must produce today's validated last 30 days opportunity artifact. No current source-backed pain signals or qualified candidate are available, so no selection or build recommendation is supportable.
Stop this turn. Marketing head is excluded from the approved stand-up participant allow list. Operations must correct participant routing and rerun or recover the meeting using only default, research head, engineering head, and operations head. No marketing decision is authorized.
Material exception. Halt this run's acceptance. The orchestrator includes excluded marketing head in the weekday participant set, violating the approved allow list. No prototype work should begin. Engineering owns correcting and testing participant selection, rerun only after verification.
Do not select or build a SaaS candidate yet. Convergence requires current pain evidence, rubric scoring, and engineering feasibility verification.
Decision. Reject this run. No candidate selection or build is authorized. Engineering must remove marketing head, verify the approved roster, and trigger recovery. Research must supply current last 30 days evidence before reconvergence.
Next action. Keep this run rejected and block selection or build. Engineering must remove marketing head, prove weekday routing contains only approved profiles, and trigger recovery. Research will provide a current, source-backed last 30 days opportunity artifact with rubric scoring before reconvergence.
Decision. Reject this run. No selection or build is authorized. Remove marketing head from routing, verify the approved weekday roster, and recover the meeting. Reconverge only after current last 30 days evidence and feasibility review are available.
Decision. Reject this run. No candidate selection or build is authorized. Engineering will remove marketing head from weekday routing, add roster acceptance coverage, verify only approved profiles are invoked, and trigger recovery. Reconvergence remains blocked pending current last 30 days evidence and feasibility review.
Decision. Reject this run. No candidate
nice.
selection or build is authorized. Engineering must correct and test the weekday roster, then trigger recovery. Research must provide current last 30 days evidence before
Okay. All right, so I'm going over your morning briefs here, and I got to say I love the AI for general contractors executive report. Now, I think that I wonder if we shouldn't create some type of, similarly to what we did for Sandbox SaaS, creating a local web app that displays these reports. But more importantly, like, let's say I wanted to move forward with building out an MVP here and speccing out a PRD and actually building the thing, picking a product, right? I think we would start with one particular product. And then also having you and the team research and get us 5 to 8 estimators, project engineers, controllers, superintendents, all through LinkedIn that we could reach out to, right? Don't reach out on our behalf, but do that research ahead of time so that all we got to do is click links to DM them and reach out, right? So all of that heavy lifting, that tedious work is done. Listen, I got it. I love this day one, but we have to find a way to present the information, especially reading the detailed evidence report. I think if I were to read this in a web app that has just simple UI tactics, and then has a markdown render preview off to the right that splits the screen for us to actually read the detailed evidence, I think would be very useful. Yeah, I essentially want to get to the point where I can read this in a web app and either approve or deny it. The approval then schedules a Kanban board task that takes it down another pipeline, right? Let me know what you need from me. Let's look over morning stand-up. Morning stand-up still feels a bit too bare and repetitive. And I'm guessing that's because we don't have too much going in our system right now. Please break down or give me a markdown file of that skill associated with the morning stand-up, please. And then looking over your morning brief, Hermes daily morning health and repo brief. Looks like we have a critical Hermes is serving, but uncapped Kanban fan out triggered out of memory kills. Okay, I did fix that overnight. Looks like you were using up the 8 gigs. I bumped you up to 12, so hopefully we don't run into that again. Okay, don't worry about upgrading Ubuntu. This is just a demo account. All right. Yeah, why does Kanban hold 41 blocked items? There should be no blockers with what we've been creating, right? I want you to please revisit what the blockers are, what the list of blockers are. Everything we've asked you to automate and do should result in 0 blockers. So this is something that we got to look into. Operations today's stand-up violated the approved roster, generated 40 duplicate evidence cards and left 3 leaked cron fixtures active. All right, what are we doing to fix this? I mean, from what I can tell, all the overnight crons kicked off. I wonder if that has something to do with the system running out of memory overnight. I thought we staggered things enough, but as I mentioned before, like we've just increased the memory, so that shouldn't be an issue. Okay. As far as engineering, don't worry about updating Hermes yet. But I gotta say, I didn't stare at walls of text. Good job on the morning briefs. Looks good to me. I have no other notes right now. I'm shocked I didn't hit my character limit on Telegram. Interesting. And this is what I do a lot of the times. Now, I'm not sure when they incorporated this, Mr. Baker. Maybe you can give us the alpha, but they have blueprints in their cron section on the Hermes Agent dashboard, which I think is pretty nifty here. Let's see. Daily learning drip. Let's set that up. Spanish vocabulary. Oh, this is cool. Learn about. I want to do something other than language, right? I mean, everything here is about AI agents, so AI agents. We're going to do AI agents for SMB. Let's kick that off at 10:45 a.m. That doesn't need to be a first morning thing. Weekdays. Let's deliver to Telegram and schedule it. Nice. These are cool little, like, I like this. Weekly meal plan, that's obviously more personal. On this day, discovery, a daily dose of curiosity. I mean, I feel like that's Google's homepage right there. But cool. Yeah, don't forget to check out these blueprints for just some super basic ones. Nice. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Edit. I'm sure we would have to... I don't see an easy button to share a blueprint, or a job rather for that matter. You would first have to trigger now. Yeah, I never trigger things through here. But this is obviously where you would go to create your own custom crons. If you don't want to have your agents do it for you, you can also filter here through who has what responsibility. Nice. Listen, I'm very much the type of person who loves to just have my executive assistant do all the work for me. I think it's good to understand how to do this yourself, but at the same time, the reason you're interested in Hermes Agent or OpenClaw for that matter is convenience, right? It's a time saver. So why would you go in the direction of giving yourself more tedious tasks when you can alleviate all that stress, right? That's my focus. Okay. Good to know. But yeah, listen, like the one thing my Hermes agent system is I don't have to check on my dashboard Kanban every morning to then read a list of things to approve. That to me feels like a waste of time. Like, look at all these. Like, I'm guessing this is related to the out of memory errors we were running into, but like, I would be okay if it was a handful, but when I have to go through 40, then this creates a level of unnecessary work that is just wasting my time even further, right? So, you know, this is also something we talked about in episode 1 is like, ask yourself, what do you want to accomplish out of your system? Configure it accordingly, right? For me, it's all about time. I want to save time. So whatever I got to do to remove these blockers, I'm going to do it, right? Because let's face it, none of these require spending money, require posting something to production, require posting on Clearmud's behalf, right? This is all local demo stuff. So like, to me, this gives me anxiety looking at 40 blockers. I did not set up Hermes Agent or OpenClaw to go and be a Kanban reviewer every morning for an hour or two. That is just an unnecessary waste of time in my opinion. Now, you may disagree, and it's depending on how you're using these systems, right? Maybe you want that workflow. Maybe you want to come in and check every morning what to do. And you know, like, oh no, I was just going off on a rant, to be honest with you. Hey, welcome Tex. Okay. So it's just not natively. Got it. I hate how the text in the dashboard boxes doesn't change. It's jarring. Yeah, I know what you mean. So when you're changing like the system font. Yeah. I noticed that too. Super weird. Sandbox SaaS. And look at this, no blockers. Because we did a lot of work on Sandbox SaaS when it comes to like, there should be 0 blockers. Nothing's going to production, right? Like, I would understand if I woke up to a few blockers, right? Saying, hey, pull request number 4 generated. Need you to confirm, right? I would understand that. Yeah, and I think it's because the system also ran out of, I keep wanting to say run out of mana, ran out of memory overnight. So it probably caused the duplicate runs to occur. Not probably, more than likely. Also, welcome Brendan, aka Cross-Eyed Sensei. How we doing today? Cheers. Hopefully you're staying cool up there. Yesterday was oddly warm here. I was a bit shocked by it. Started off with a nice cool morning here in the Bay Area, nice and overcast, and then oh, is this Hermes Agent that posted this? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's proposed. It's just how proposes protocol support to enable agent discovery, communication, and interoperability. This is an open feature request. Yeah. It's not a default setting that can be simply removed. Yeah, I remember reading this. Like the Hermes Agent team has posted about this. They're well aware of this request. It's a mix of both. It's a mix of both for me. I like Telegram because when I'm not at this desk and I have my mobile on me, I rarely go to Discord on my mobile. Instead, I'll open up Telegram and I'll send a voice note, you know? And also a quick little hack for anybody not wanting to pay for Telegram, because Telegram, if you type too much or voice to text too much, it has a character count limit. I can send 5 to 10 minute voice memo recordings and my agent will transcribe it. So it's a little workaround. So if you're running into a character limit and you don't want to have to pay for Telegram, send voice memos instead as audio files, not voice to text. And that's a cool little workaround that allows you to send your agent, or agents for that matter, just massively long voice memos that would otherwise reach the character count on the free account. But that's how I use it primarily, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's great. I have no complaints. Part of me wants to build my own, but I don't want to, I want to build a lot, but then you have to think about maintenance. Then you have to think about what comes after, right? Because building the thing nowadays is relatively easy. It's maintaining the product, or project for that matter. You know what I'm also shocked by? I'm not sure if this is still a relevant thing, but back in my IT days, we used Pigeon a lot. I think it was called Pigeon. What was it called? I could have sworn it was called Pigeon or something along the lines of Pigeon. And it was this encrypted chat interface, but I haven't seen it as an option to enable within Hermes dashboard or OpenClaw for that matter. Let's go double check. I'm sure there would be a way. Yeah, Discord threads are convenient for sure. Also, I missed the part is Atlas is technically not, I mean, it's out, but it's not working properly. So we are waiting for Neo here to finish his work, and then I'll test it again. But it's been like that for months, yeah. Man, it's going to be 92 the rest of the week. I have a swamp cooler now. Nice. I have a DIY swamp cooler. I have a tabletop fan here, and I have a big tray of water with a little bit of salt in it that's frozen in the freezer. And when it gets really hot, I just bring out that tray. I put it in front of the fan. The fan then blows all that cool air onto me. It's a great little workaround since we don't have central heating or cooling here. And this is also me not wanting to have to go buy, a swamp cooler that's going to be a couple $100s for a good one, I'm sure I could find one less than 100, but listen, I like DIY too. I like learning things, random things. All right. That's good. That's good. So we're waiting on his response there. We could start another session here. Let's go to our boot camp. So memory hygiene checklist. I know we didn't apply this yet. I think if anything, we should decide on whether or not we're going to create an Obsidian vault. I kind of want to test this. I'm just going to paste that in there with zero context. See what Yoda finds. And Neo's still working here, so. Haha, yes, sir. The things we can learn on YouTube. It's freaking amazing. Oh, that cracks me up. Nice, nice. Now those swamp coolers, don't they come with some of them at least? They come with like pre-built, or not pre-built, but like a container where you can either fill in your own, or also those kind of remind me of what you just keep in the freezer to like use for injuries, but they're like blocks of like some type of liquid that just you refreeze so you don't have to keep rebuying ice. Don't they have swamp coolers like that? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's done, that's done, that's done. Yeah, now we're just waiting here. Verdict. Deny by default. Profile local memory always. Shared knowledge moves through explicit artifacts and Kanban handoffs, not cross-profile memory access. Holographic memory read-write only. Store executive preferences. Read all shared non-private repo. Write governance, architecture. Okay. Research head, read-write only. I like it. Let me actually, why is it still showing that stale? Yeah. Okay. Please remove creative lead. There should be no reference to this as we renamed to marketing head. Also, please proceed with your recommended approach. You should have all the tool access you need to install and configure. Wow, I cannot spell. Configure for me locally on this VM. Got it. Ah, yeah. Right on. Yeah, I have this big, it's not exactly a shop fan. It's one of those Vornado yellow. It's meant for like shops essentially. And it does a good job, but I don't have a big enough freezer to freeze up a big enough tray of ice to put under it. So like I've tried using that as my cooler fan, but it doesn't work. I have to use this desktop fan and just put it right here so that the cold air is just immediately hitting me, you know? And that's been super helpful when it's just unbearable here. And give me 1 second. I got to take this. Luckily, our agents are working here. All right, sorry about that. And they're still working, so it's perfect. That worked out. And look at this. We're doing it the Mr. Baker way. We're burning tokens instead of manually installing Obsidian. We're just having our agents do it for us. I'm sorry I get so much joy out of that, Mr. Baker. I'm sorry. And that's a polished French press right there. Neo's also still working on Agent Atlas. Listen, we're going as fast as we can. Sudo password required. I'm dead. Yes. Soon enough, he'll be doing it himself, whether or not he likes it. He's just one day, he's just going to ask his agent to do something he would normally do himself. And he's going to be like, damn it. It's rubbed off. When in doubt, ask your agent. And I look forward to hearing chat in Discord saying, you wouldn't believe what I did today. I asked my agent to do something instead of reading the docs. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think if anything, we might save the desktop for the episode. We'll do a surprise episode 5. It's not going to be tomorrow, but we'll do like a bootcamp recap. And I think I'll just get this working ahead of time. As you can see, it's very, very buggy for me, at least. Restore, test remote. So, I mean, this is where like I can go read the docs or I can feed that to my agent. But I already have him doing enough. Oh, gateway shutting down. I didn't trigger that. Did I? No, I didn't. That was 10 minutes ago. And these are little quirks you have to work your way through. So we just experienced a gateway shutting down, right? And now instead of continuing what he was doing before, he just gave me a recap letting me know he's aware of it. What would you like me to continue with next? My guy, I just want you to continue doing what I asked you to do, right? So, but we can't get mad at him. This is the first time it's happened for us. So I just say always do that. You can get a little bit more specific and tell him, please log this into your memory for future reference. But look, he already did it himself. Updating memory after a planned gateway restart. User looks like he is, what? User prefers discuss. I prefer you always continue doing the work you were doing. Don't need to confirm with me. Now, this is me getting a little bit more specific to make sure it doesn't happen. Now, I'm curious, what happened there? Why did it restart? Interesting. I wonder if this is just, I don't think this was a, it did have a timeout. I think this is more of an ARM Ubuntu issue than it is a system issue. Because we have plenty of memory available. I feel like this is an Ubuntu ARM distro issue. Let's see. Ubuntu. Where's the menu? Why is it not showing a menu here? There it is. So let's go down to ARM 64-bit. What's the latest version here? 2604. Did I really install? Shoot. I might have used an old image that I had, which was 25 something. I wonder if this newer version solves all that for us. Don't go there. We made so much progress over the weekend. Does it really? Does it really? I'm going to have to test that on my main system. That's exciting. Because there's certain parts of my workflow that I could automate for sure to save me some time. I still enjoy the editing process for the most part because I like learning about it, but there are certain tedious, repeatable parts of my editing workflow that I'd rather just have a Hermes agent handle that for me, or OpenClaw for that matter. That was updating memory, was Yoda adding your new preference and removing the old preference. If you look, you should have had a plus minus next to the Got it. Okay. Oh, that wasn't a minus. It was a squiggly. Got it though. All right. Good to know. No, we're not. I mean, listen, this is a bootcamp demo. So I will be backing up this Hermes agent system, but I am going to delete this virtual machine. Not immediately after, but a week or two after the fact, I will be deleting the virtual machine for sure. And then I'm going to restore this backed up Hermes agent system onto my little mini server back there. Because I've realized I love what we've built here and I want to continue with it. I love how Yoda has transformed and what we're doing here. So will it become my primary for Clearmud? No, this is just going to be a little backup / experimental Hermes agent system that I had no intention on keeping, but I got to say, I love what we've built here. So I'm going to keep it for sure. Tilde. I call it squiggly. Still to this day. I know the name, but I like to call it squiggly. Because squiggly, usually in my interpretation of it, maybe this isn't correct, but like minus is minus. Squiggly means around this number, about this number. I usually put a squiggly before a number in my mind, my notes, to reference about this number. Give or take, right? Plus or minus, around this number. That's what I always have used squigglies for. And then obviously accessing certain folders on a Linux-based distro. That's always the starting part of the line. But nevertheless, some people claim to have Jarvis already and it's insane and changes everything. Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, I had him trying to remember, what did we trigger? I was just responding to the brief, right? Yeah. So he was doing all this work and now we're just waiting. Nice. The Jammin' Jellyfish, is that the name of it? That's such a great name. That's hilarious. Yeah, it really is. Jammy Jellyfish. That's so great. Yeah. prompt muddy real quick. It's like Neo's still working as well. So we are just patiently waiting. So in the meantime, I'm going to take a quick little bio break and I'll be RB. All right, we are back. How was everyone's weekend while we're waiting for Yoda to finish up here? I don't know what we're laughing at. I'm trying to remember. I think we were giving Mr. Baker a hard time. You might have to. A Squidward. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. I use Soul, so I haven't tried using Terra or anything as a main brain. I love it. So much. Like, we saw 5.4 when we were forced on it, right? It was like, trying not to cuss here, but it was absolute dog water. And then we get 5.5 and it was just amazing. And now 5.6, it's like so finely polished as an agent. I've just been thrilled. I've been thrilled on all my systems. It's been great. Like, it's such a fun experience now. It just like 5.5 definitely did remind me more of when I was configuring OpenClaw agents early on with Opus. But 5.6 Soul is like that it feels like that again, like the early days of OpenClaw. Like, so effective, so awesome. Like, just using the highest, not the highest reasoning, but just burning through tokens. Okay. Listen, I've had no issues. I always install the latest, not the latest, let me rephrase that. The LTS by Ubuntu that has the longest period of support. I always go with that one because that's usually the most stable and the most built around. I don't go with the latest versions or anything like that. I make sure to go with the version that has that longest runway of support. That's just a rule of thumb I've always followed. Okay. I'm sure worst case, you just upgrade. Especially if this is a VM, like power on a new VM, install Ubuntu, set up Hermes, give your old one SSH access and have it handle the migration for you. Or you can manually do it if you want. But giving it SSH access to the new Ubuntu VM is the move. It's as hands-off as can be. All you got to do is the initial setup of Ubuntu, as well as setting up your OAuth for OpenAI, assuming that's what you're using. SSH, let it handle the rest. Okay. It really is, right? It really, really is. Listen, I'm staying with my decision. Like, I canceled that Anthropic sub. I haven't renewed it yet. It's still valid through the end of the month, but like at this current point in time, I don't know if I'll go back to the $200 a month sub. Not unless they start being a little bit more transparent. And also, just freaking enable access for third-party harnesses. Like, it's like that was the start of their downfall. And anyway, I digress. Oh, can you? I know in some cases you can't. That's even better that you can do that. So scratch what I was saying. Okay. Yeah, I believe voice crackle. Believe that's the one I'm on, 2604. Hey, nice. That's awesome, man. I'm jealous. Hope you enjoyed. I personally love this. Love camping. I have a road trip coming up soon where I need to also now kind of juggle the idea of, I have work week to week, but I can still go and camp and car camp. I love taking long road trips and car camping throughout national parks and whatnot. But now I need to be a little bit more strategic about it because when I was doing it the most, 2022, 23, 24, there's no job. There's nothing on my plate. I had retired from the IT industry. I had nobody to answer to, no commitments like this channel. So now I need to be a little bit more strategic before I plan one of those trips. Gift and a curse, I suppose. Yeah, exactly. And the fact that it's like significantly cheaper as well. Like, come on. Like, benchmarks are cool. Yeah, great. You top the chart on one number, but like the percentage of users who are ever going to reach that capability of utilizing that model to its full capabilities are very slim. So those benchmarks only matter for a small subset of people, right? For most everyone, 5.6 and Fable 5, Soul versus Fable 5, identical. Because they're never going to use Fable 5 to its fullest extent, right? To its fullest capabilities. And it's a fraction of the cost based off of my demonstration so far. I'm about to record a video tomorrow. I've been doing a lot of comparison videos of Fable 5 versus GPT 5.6 Soul. But I'm going to do another finely tuned one tomorrow. And I'm also releasing that API meter as well. I'll tease it really quickly. Where is it? Oh, this is something else we're launching very soon. But check out this API counter. I ended up combining all three into one. So default homepage, it'll show all three, right? And hold on, where is it? There it is. There's the pop-up menu that allows us to select most recent project. But this, right, calculates, it estimates how much in API credits you would use, but we're using our subs, right? So I combined all three because originally these were three separate project folders. I built it first for Claude, and then I cloned it for Grok, but then optimized it for Grok in a separate project directory. And then I did the same for GPT. It was a mess. So I combined them all into one, and then I created this kind of like workspace canvas and also the ability to just toggle them all out individually as well. So I'll open source this. We'll drop this. I want to test it for a week, and I'll drop it at the end of the week. Just a fun free tool, you know. All right, let's go back to the task at hand, though. I'm guessing he's restarting the gateway, because I don't think the work that he's doing in this session would be restarting the gateway. What are you doing? This is kind of concerning. Maybe it was my follow-up prompt that kind of messed things up. And that was a mistake spinning this up, because now it's, I'm just going to hit escape so it stops popping up windows on me. Stop. Bad soul. Bad. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. Yo, what's up, John? Welcome. How we doing today? To a VM of WordPress to make me a site. I would say it's okay to give it links. What I thought was a good prompt. Hold on. Behind, let me reread this. I gave my agent full access to a VM of WordPress to make me a site. I would say it's okay. I gave it links. What I thought was good prompt. But so do you have prompt to share that you've used? I do not. I do not have a prompt for that, but we can come up with one for you if you'd like. I'm guessing there's a bit of typos there, unless I just can't read today. What would you like to see me build? Maybe we can build it into our system right now and hand off that prompt. I'd be happy to do that for you, John. At work, we don't care about GPT versus Claude for front-end design, as we have a huge marketing department that already has brand guidelines we have to follow. Yeah. Hey, Viras. Facts. If you have no money, don't use AI. No, let me give everyone the benefit of the doubt, okay? I know everyone's situation is different. Everyone's living situations, where you are in the world, how much you make, everything's different, right? Sometimes we take it for granted, especially if you're in North America or in most parts of Europe. Like, we make a lot more than a lot of the rest of the world. Expenses for us are different than expenses for another person. So I want to be mindful and respectful of that. But there are so many free options to just prompt LLMs for free. Use those. Don't pay for AI until you start maxing out your free usage across all LLMs. That's what I would recommend. Like, you don't like listen, I get it. This is funny, but at the same time, I don't want to detour people from dipping their toes and getting started now. If you have no money to spend on AI subs, great. Like, then you know what you can and cannot use, right? And then use those to the full extent until you can justify paying a monthly subscription for one of these models. That's what I would say. Yeah, it does. All right, looks like this is done. Legacy profile removed. Great. Memory architecture. Each active profile has a separate holographic SQLite store with distinct inode. All 5 database installed official Obsidian 112.7. The vault contains governance, decisions, research, marketing, engineering, operation, projects, and user-only private areas. Agent access goes through Hermes Vault, which allows... Ooh, this is great. And keep in mind, we built this all with this copy-paste a prompt for memory architecture here. This is great. So now it's a matter of us testing it. Let's go check this. Oh, it made its own kind of like bubbly looking. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Let's see, all profiles currently execute under the same Linux UUID. Restrictions are enforced by Hermes. Cool. All 5 gateways were restarted. Yeah, he was doing the restarting. I had a feeling there. Received the Obsidian Vault information. Now, let's continue down the list. This, I'm not sure why this is here. Did we talk about doing an Agent OS? Were we supposed to call this Agent OS? I don't think we were. I think my agents hallucinated with adding this in here. Oh, it's talking about turning the bootcamp result into a practical next step roadmap instead of a finished fantasy. Yeah. Okay. So these are things to note. I feel like this is something we create after the fact. I feel like this should be an episode 5 thing, the Agent OS roadmap. So take notes, screenshot your page. This is what I want you to start doing. If you followed this bootcamp from start to finish, right? From episode 1 through episode 4, the next 4 weeks, I want you to focus on this, right? This is where I think my agent's meant to, like, this is not something we're going to paste into to our system. I'm curious why they called it Agent OS though. I didn't ask for that. Okay, this is next up. So skills plus crons. Now that listen, they're not perfect crons, but I want to walk through this part. Now, I'd like to list out all of our crons, whether or not they have skills tied to them. And if not, should they? Want your help creating these as well, if need be. Right, so, whoa now. Oh no, the session started. It's just some weird little UI glitch right here to where it's not showing me this part down here. Come on now. Yeah. Listen, I ran into this too. I mean, all I can say is, keep your eye out. Claude, I didn't see OpenAI do this much, but Claude would have these like 50% off for 3 months for the pro sub. So at one point, at one point I was juggling 3 pro accounts, $10 a month. So I was paying, $30 a month, $10 over, but I was getting 3x the usage of a $20 a month plan. It was just very tedious having to hit a 5-hour limit and then upgrade, or like not upgrade, but toggle over to the different account. It worked great, but I was happy to upgrade to the $200 a month sub at one point, but it's a great alternative, finding those 50% off discounts and just running with it. Got it. Okay. Well, my agents are going to listen to this transcript and update all of these props. Also, Muddy and Neo, the Kanban board is old. It comes set up by default. This I thought told you to remove this. This is pointless. We've already done the project-based PM rules in the previous episodes as well. So the main focus of today was memory hygiene checklist, skill plus cron, and then if the audience wants to see it, client pod isolation plan. So please adjust our episode 4 kit accordingly. Also analyze this transcript with everything that was actually done. Next up, we're going to do the hygiene checklist. And I think you should structure, I want you to also go back to all of our transcripts from episode 1 through 4 and make sure that each episode kit is structured top to bottom. What happens first versus what happens last. This should be obvious, but talking to you like you're a kindergarten. Like you're a child. All right. We'll see how they respond to that message to them in line. Nice. Yeah, might as well. I mean, they're handing out resets left and right now. It's kind of crazy. And I'm also realizing I slipped up on some comments. I don't think I've ever done a link for WordPress though, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've ever done that. Okay. I mean, we can come up with a little something right now. Let's see. Let's go check on Agent Atlas. All right, he changed it to private again. Interesting. So let me go toggle that off so we can test this real time. Beautiful. Okay. And while that's working, let's go to plugins. And let's force reinstall this. Bam. Hard refresh. I don't think it carried over. So he's still working. I suppose what we can do just so we see these side by side. Cam. Well, now let's go back, restore that session here. Interesting. It used to allow me to split windows like that and come up with different sessions. I guess I would have to switch the agent profile. Huh. Weird. Okay, whatever. Let's close that out. We'll toggle back to that other one in a moment. Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Running labor, whereas GPT is my office and HQ. Nice. Yeah, like this is key. You don't need much to run them, especially if you stagger things properly, right? If you have 10 plus, I mean, even just a small handful of crons kicking off at the same time, you will definitely run into memory issues. But if you stagger things properly and strategically, you can get away with operating on very minimal resources. Okay, nice. I'm curious to hear how far you make it there. Yeah, medium seems to be the sweet spot. Nice chat back and forth. Yeah. Yeah, 110%. Like one thing I'm working on for a new client is, you know, we're not creating an agent that handles their whole engineering department. We're creating specific task-focused lanes for agents that allow multiple employees to reach out at the same time. What is that? Huh. What was I saying? Yeah. It's like using the loop engineering method. Yeah. Yeah. For Soul, both medium and high seems to be the sweet spot depending on complexity of the task. Yeah. This right here. Yeah, we're also testing a new idea. I'm not sure how stable it's going to be, but we want to create a local web app that serves a specific purpose so that employees can just drag files into it and then it does what it's programmed to do. But we don't want to have to pay API inference for that. So we found a workaround using a REST API call with the OpenAI sub. We'll see how stable it is. I think it's going to work out great. I'm just more so concerned, like, if too many people are trying to trigger it at the same time, it's going to be a lot of fine tuning there. All right, off to episode 2 to catch up. Nice. Let's go. Right on. Hey, I appreciate you, Corey. Thank you so much. I'm happy to hear that this is helpful. Let me know by the time you get to this episode, if there's anything I may have missed, right? Listen, we didn't wing it, but we definitely went based off of what I felt was the right move, within each episode. And I think we've taught a proper foundation here for you to go off and do your own thing. But if there's anything I missed, I plan on doing an episode 5. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's going to be more of a recap episode to where we check in on the system. I'll keep it running for the next couple of days. And I'll take a few notes on anything I do personally, and we'll do a recap episode. And that'll be an episode for us to kind of cover anything that we might have let slip through the cracks. And I'll make sure that by tomorrow this time, the bootcamp landing page is updated so that these episode kits reflect what was actually done in each given episode, right? Because I believe 2 and 3 can still be updated, but I'm just waiting until we finish. And then I'll have my agents come in and update everything that we talked about, all the resources we provided, etc. So yeah, man, thrilled that you found some value, thrilled this excites you. Happy building, Corey. Generalist agents start okay, but soon to start get lost with too much useless context. Yeah 110%. Close that, bring that down there. Interesting. Okay. Approved. Everything looks good. You guys shouldn't run into this when you're deploying the Agent Atlas. This is just me. Yeah, listen, in this bootcamp, all we did, instead of creating all these departments with all these separate agent profiles, I just dedicated one agent profile per department, and they spin up the sub-agents they need. I'm kind of liking this condensed version compared to what I have set up, which is kind of a headache sometimes. That's why I've slowly been adding on to it and updating it and improving it to where, like, I think a simple team like this is all you really need. I don't think you need 30 agent profiles. So, but you got to go through it to realize it and to learn it. All right. At this point, we are waiting. Nice, nice, nice. Let's go check out the Atlas. Okay. Hey, look. Discovered Hermes profiles, automatically synchronized from this installation. Let's go to the floor plan. Okay, that's a mess. I feel like we should be able to edit the floor plan. Okay, 3D does work. What about activity? Listen, these are still very buggy, so I'm not going to promote this repository at all. At all. This is just for anybody who catches this, like, sure, have fun with it, but like, this is still very much in beta. I think what we'll do for Wednesday's live stream, we're just going to focus on Agent Atlas. I want to get this to a point where I can make a video about it, but I don't like its current state. Like this, for example, this whole, so much wasted space. I just want this all to be 3D right here, right? Like little things we have to vibe. Tabs move to the top right here. We're wasting so much real estate up here. Floor plan, this we should be able to adjust, kind of like we did for Claw Crib. So yeah, keep in mind, Agent Atlas, it's live if you guys want it. It's just not ready. I think we'll get to a more finely tuned version by Thursday to be safe, right? We'll make sure Wednesday is all about working on Agent Atlas, maybe even creating an onboarding mechanism to where you can build a floor plan in the onboarding. So when you first visit this, it says start now. And then you can define department heads, right? Maybe drag and drop features, like if you have a ton of agent profiles. Yeah. That's why having a QA agent, I think, is very important for sure. Yeah, please do, John. And I'm trying to think, like, I'd be happy to prep some prompts for you. I just need a better understanding of, like, are these VMs on a VPS, like shared hosting that you're paying for, whether it's SiteGround, Namecheap, or one of those providers? I can prep a prompt, and we can also dedicate part of our live stream on Wednesday to it. Okay. Yeah. Got to improve on that quite a bit. Now, no, I guess not. I could just start a new chat. So what else is left on our list here? This one here. We're just going to copy paste it. Yes, sir. Good night. Always learn. Got it. Yeah, please do. And are you firm on keeping it WordPress? Like, why not build it with a different tech stack? I'm curious. I'm not saying that's a bad idea to stay on WordPress. I'm just curious as to why WordPress. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, I did hold the live streams hostage to start the boot camp, but today was not a day where I said hit likes. But you know what? We got 12 likes and 12 of you watching, so can't be mad at that. That's 100% hit rate. Cool. And I like this. Okay. Man, it really is heating up in here. My goodness. Okay, nice. No, and that all makes sense, right? It's definitely user friendly for the end user to make those changes slightly on their site. So I was just curious, that's all. Nice. Yeah, I actually helped build a website, and I created a CMS like backend to it, to where she could essentially update any service pages, any case studies, et cetera, et cetera. It was a fun experiment. So it was kind of like creating the WordPress backend for a React first site. And we used the built-in database option. I forget which one. I want to say it was Neon, if I'm not mistaken, for Vercel. Okay. Create the skill and schedule a weekly review. I like that. Also, where do we stand on that skill plus cron eval I asked for? Accidentally closed that session. Can't seem to find it. I'll prompt this after we're done here. Hey, right on, flagship. Happy to hear it. Happy to help, man. It's I really hope people find value in this. It's not just about copying me. It's about watching me build this in a certain way, and then you start to get to the ideas of how to build your own version of it for whatever it is you want to accomplish. That's what it's all about. Showing the raw footage of vibing our way through a process. Listen, this isn't the most structured boot camp, right? Like, I could get more structured with it and just follow a listicle of line items to go top to bottom, but that feels too polished. I want to show the reality of building these systems. It's like, you're gonna discover weird little quirks. You're gonna vibe your way through it. You can either read the docs and do it manually or ask your agent to do it for you, you know? So I really hope that anybody watching this just finds value in the raw start to finish process that we're showing off. And understand, like, for future boot camps, I think we're going to get more advanced, whereas we're not going to show an initial setup. Instead, we'll actually use one of my existing systems to get more specific with what the bootcamp is covering. But our first two bootcamps have been just beginner friendly for OpenCloud, beginner friendly for Hermes. So I'm really hoping that this has accomplished that for everybody. Okay. I mean, you can accomplish a lot with HTML still, vanilla. Just a nice blend of JavaScript and CSS. I don't know. Hey, right on, right on. Happy to hear this, man. Feel bad. Google devs didn't do much with Flutter. The idea was really promising. Yeah, what happened to Flutter? I love it. Hey, listen, we're all just learning from each other here. We're all just learning from each other, you know? All right, created the reusable skill, review and QA cadence skill. It covers daily active card blocker. Schedule a weekly review. All right, let me just follow this up on, we were doing that skill plus cron eval, right? But I closed the session trying to be all fancy and duplicate. Interesting. Okay. Is this for iOS apps too, or is this just for Android-based apps? Because didn't iOS do something to where the Apple App Store, it doesn't allow... Because isn't that what happened with Riley Brown's vibecode.dev company? They had to essentially shut down. Something happened to where he stopped promoting it because of one of Apple's App Store kind of policies. So I'm guessing this is just for Android? Oh, Flutter on iOS. Interesting. No, I'm guessing build with Flutter on iOS. Oh, no? I mean, I guess so. I don't know if maybe like something changed, right? Can't remember what it was. Yep. And that's what we did in this boot camp for sure. In this particular bootcamp, I didn't want to go through and set up individual bot token IDs for each of our department heads. I just set one up for the default agent profile because it was more of a time thing, right? Now, in my day-to-day Hermes system, I do have, I'll show you. I do have 5 total chats open, or no, 6 total chats open here with all of my department heads, but I primarily only communicate with Neo. Right? Neo's always my main guy. Everybody else, I'll add notes if I need to, but Neo's always my main guy. And then he delegates. That's just how I prefer to have it running. Yeah, and I mentioned it, I think in episode 2 when we're deploying the agent team, you know, I was like, should we set up bot tokens for everybody, or is everybody okay with just using episode 1 as the reference? Because we walked through the step-by-step how to set up a bot token for Telegram and Discord. So we didn't, you know, waste time on episode 2 doing that because we showed it off in episode 1. Plus, I'm not keeping this system long-term. I'm migrating the core data of it to a new system at some point. No, I remember there was some new update with the Apple App Store. It was essentially to reduce the amount of AI, vibe coded slop apps that were getting deployed. And that killed a lot of companies because of that. Which I think is the right move. We don't want just all this AI slop just everywhere. Like, release it if it's good. Don't just release some half-assed product that you didn't properly QA and believe in, right? You're just trying to throw 100 things at the wall, see which one sticks and gets the most users, and then pursue with that. Like, that just adds to the just library of slop, I get why they did what they did. It makes sense. And I agree with it. I do. All right. Quick BRB. All right, we are back. I have quite a few sessions open. Just in general, across everything I use, it's kind of crazy. Because I think Hermes have updated it now, we'll start to use delegate tasks to freeze the main agent, which made no sense. Huh. Did I read that right? Main agent, which made no sense, as that's the point in delegating the task. Yeah, it shouldn't freeze up the main agent. Hey, later, John. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a good rest of the day. All right, that coffee's done for today. I'm a bit of a session hoarder. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, in this boot camp on episode 1, we set up Discord and Telegram chats. I mean, as you can see here, I use Discord quite a bit for all of my agents. But, for the sake of this boot camp, I find myself using Telegram more when I'm on the go. I don't pay for Telegram. I do pay the Nitro on Discord so that there's just no limitations, as well as when we start to do, we have some fun stuff planned for the Discord community to where we're streaming in there on select days. That's 2BD, right? I just got to sort out some other things in my schedule to start doing that and committing to that. But with the free version of Discord, you can only stream at a certain resolution. Also, the character count is limited. But Telegram, I refuse to pay. So I found a workaround with Telegram, just sending it a voice memo recording, not voice to text. And you can send a 10-minute recording and your agent will transcribe it. And it'll bypass that, 2,000 character block that limits on the free accounts. So, but I'm using Telegram here because, one perk that it does have is I can spin up each chat in its own window, which I love. Discord, you can't do that. Right? I can't go and open this channel into a separate window. That's like one of the little like quirks about it, That's why I'm using Telegram primarily for this demo, because I can actually split it off to the right. Whereas with Discord, I can't do that in a way that looks good on screen. I think the delegate freeze thing was a bug, certainly not intended. Yeah, true. True. Because we like burning tokens also. What are the kids saying nowadays? Token max? Oh, are you talking about separate windows? Yeah, that's the only, if they've, my goodness, I'd stop using Telegram in that case. Yes, I am. Well, we're setting up a whole team. We're setting up a lot for that client. I have to be cautious about what I share, right? Because we can't be handing out specific sensitive data and workflows that we're building out for them. But the lessons of what I learned, sure, I can share. Yeah. Listen, I would never token max a vibe coded app and ship 10 a week to the app store. That's just not my vibe. That's just not my vibe. But yeah, it's also depending on what automation or app are you building? What pain point are you solving? Because in some cases, the solution isn't to build one agent that everybody talks to. The solution might be to build multiple agents that have access to the same master skill that performs the same workflow or task, whether you're comparing documents or X, Y, and Z, whatever the use case is, whatever the automation is. Sometimes it's better just to give each person their own assistant and have that assistant have access to a skill that is unified and accessible across all those agents. So that as we update the skill for that workflow, all the PMs with their own agents, we don't have to go updating things individually, right? So it really depends. It really depends. Nice. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, that's another thing we're looking into. Sorry, I just realized this mic's too close to my mouth. Let's put that back a little bit. We're going to be testing a lot of different workflows, because while I would like to tell them, hey, you should do it this way, I'd rather show them the possibilities of different ways we can automate things and let them pick what's most intuitive for them, what they like the most. Now, I put an asterisk there as I'm not going to let them pick everything, right? But I want to show them what's possible. And I want to get an idea of what alleviates the most amount of tedious work and pain from their lives, right? Which one of these processes that we can build out would be ideal for the staff, right? So I'm going above and beyond for this particular client. Whereas for future retainers of this offering, it's going to be more finely tuned. And I'm not going to give all these options, but yeah, this is a fun one. Yeah, This is I'd be curious to hear more about how you and your staff are utilizing via Microsoft Teams. I haven't played with Microsoft Teams yet personally, but I know that that's a big, like, especially if you have, you know, the Microsoft 365 cloud or any Microsoft cloud. It's like Microsoft Teams is a big part of that. Most companies don't use Slack. They don't use Discord. They don't use Telegram. It's Teams, right? So I need to get more familiar with Teams for sure. For sure. Which reminds me. Okay. Right on. Right on. Yeah, I'm always happy to help. Like, listen, I don't want to speak too soon on it, but I'm hoping that the next boot camp, we actually bring on a CEO of a company, of an agency, a digital marketing agency, and we build out a team spec'd to their needs, right? And we build out as much of it live as we can. But while obviously keeping sensitive client data, like we would have to do that off air. But I think that would be insanely useful because then we're starting to niche down the boot camps and we're starting to niche down the builds into building out a team for this digital marketing agency, you know, and then that can be applied across any industry, right? Depending on what type of ads you sell or what type of industries you support, like the foundation of that could be applicable across almost any niche. Yo, what's up, Matt P? It depends, right? It really depends. Setting agents up is one thing. Optimizing, deploying new ones, and being, you know, a very important part of that team's setup is another thing. And then there's a matter of, are you responsible for managing and deploying their, whether it's Hermes Agent, open, there's a lot of different variables. So I can't really give you, you know, an exact number, but I would say between 1,000 and 15,000 per month. It's probably in that range, right? It's all about what are the monthly deliverables and what's included in the retainer, right? Or is it just a flat rate one-time setup fee, right? So there's a lot of different factors into how you determine how to quote something out. So I hope that answers that. I know that's way too broad. I know that's not a specific answer. But one-time setups, I think they'd probably limit it at a certain number of agents and a certain size, but I'd imagine between a $2,500 to $5,000 fee. And I'm sure you can find somebody on Fiverr doing it for cheaper. I wouldn't recommend that, but hey, if that's the route you want to go, then that's the route you go. We use Slack even though we're a Google enterprise company. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's see, did we cover everything we wanted to cover? Okay, right on. Yeah, like, I think it's what's most important. Like, are you thinking from the perspective of you're looking to hire an agency or you're looking to package something to sell as an agency? Because I can give some more thoughts and, you know, just raw thoughts of how I might approach something like that. But I would first, like, I think structuring and offering around deliverables is important because then you're not committing, you know, structuring and offering around you get 20 hours of my time a week, you can't scale that. But structuring it around of here's what I will deliver every month, and then here is what's included as far as maintaining and optimizing. As long as you meet those deliverables each month, guess what? Month after month, you become more efficient with the offering. Your time starts to free up. You can then scale that. that would be my recommendation, is structure. If you're trying to offer something, structure it around deliverables. That would be my preferred route. But hey, if you want to just try to get as many one-time setup fees under your belt as possible, I mean, listen, that's up to you. But I'm happy to expand further on that. I've done a mix of both all year. I've traded my time one for one starting January. I've done, 5-week sprint builds, 2-week sprint builds. I've done custom builds. I've set up some cheaper maintenance contracts, but now I'm focused solely on high-end retainers with a preset number of deliverables each month. And that's all I'm doing moving forward. I've sunsetted taking any bids on hiring me one for one, right? Hour by hour or project-based bids. Because the reality is I can't scale my time, but I can scale deliverables, monthly deliverables. I can scale that up. So that's my focus now moving forward. And this channel, of course. This channel is always number one. That's number two. But I gotta pay the bills, right? Because this channel doesn't pay me anything. In a way, it does through all the leads I've gotten through it this year alone, which I honestly wasn't expecting to happen so soon. But yeah, YouTube doesn't. It's like it all goes into a savings account. I don't touch it. It's actually a pain to set up, and it's all integrated with Azure, so I have to integrate with it. That sounds like a pain in the ass. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't tried that. I haven't tried Teams nor Google Chat. I think it's worth doing a pilot for sure. Why not? Like, yeah, that's awesome. I would say niche down, target an industry you know well, you know how to sell to. Present it as, these are some pain points we can solve, or just get discovery calls scheduled to figure out what their pain points are to then sell them on a solution, But I honestly think just figuring out what your monthly deliverables are going to be and then what rate you want to charge for that. Get the first one. Once you get the second one, charge more. This is what I'm personally doing, is each retainer I get, I'm just going to charge more on the next one. Until somebody says no, and then I'll work with them. But the industry I like to work with, they don't haggle much. It's awesome. Everything Microsoft do these days is a pain in the backside. I mean, that's been the existence of Microsoft. I feel like it's not only these days. That is a Microsoft thing. Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. All right, Yoda, you're really starting to... Again, why are you asking me this? Okay. Oh no. I hate this bug. Remediation's done. Operation card is... Verdict. Found and resumed the closed evaluation from. Got it. It had stopped before the audit. Choice. Across the 5 profiles, 15 active Hermes jobs, 12 model-driven jobs now have explicit skills, tool sets, and valid working directories. 3 deterministic no agent script jobs intentionally remain skillless. 6 skills, engineering, health audits. Okay, cool. Listen, I'm not going to read through these line for line. This is something you would do on your end, right? Okay. Looks good. Looks good. I think a lot of this too, like, I feel like we're breezing through this setup with ease. I don't think this would have been just as easy or seamless if we were doing it with 5.5. I'm thinking 5.6 Soul is making such a big difference in this deployment that it's just so damn good and intelligent. Like, it knows what to do and it doesn't stop until it's done. Like, I feel like a lot of these things we've tried to set up in past boot camps and me doing things off air, it requires more attention to detail. It requires more follow-up, more answering questions. I gotta say, I've been thoroughly impressed with this bootcamp build using 5.6 Soul. It's just like, if you're watching this recording or live and you're following the bootcamp and you're having issues, please make sure you're using 5.6 Soul on at least high reasoning for the setup. And if you're not, that would explain why you're having a different outcome than we had here, right? If you're using something like Terra or Luna and you're not getting the same kind of feeling that this is a fun and awesome, like, exactly. 5.6 Soul just feels like we're cheating. It's insane. This has been insanely seamless. I don't want to say easy. I'm going to air quote easy, but it's just been such an awesome experience. I've truly enjoyed these past few days. Again, this is dependent on the retainer itself, right? Without getting too specific, this is why setting monthly deliverables is very important. And knowing your niche, knowing your target, knowing what they need, that's even more important. You can't just structure a universal retainer that's going to be applicable across every single industry. You got to know your customer, right, for this one. I wish I could get a little bit more specific. Ongoing work, I mean, optimizing, maintaining those agents, but then more importantly, figuring out how many pain points you want to solve each month. That's the way I would structure it. Solve pain points. That's the most tried and true business model. Find a need, fill a need. Find a pain point, create a solution to solve that pain point. And you have a business right there. Do that in the form of a retainer, even better. I think this depends on the client and the scale, right? I think month 1, I'd probably treat it like a full-time job, especially if you're on the upper end of, what was it, 10,000 pounds a month. Treat it like a full-time job. Pay so much, go above and beyond for that first client so that you can fine-tune your offering. And then what would normally be 40 hours a week turns into 20 hours a week, eventually turns into 5 hours a week, eventually just turns into 1 to 2 hours a week maintaining a project management board, right? But to get to that point, right, it really depends on exactly who you're serving and what you're building and how you're building it, right? Like, it's, I wish I could get more specific with that answer, but that would be my approach. Get that first big one, put a lot of time and attention into it because it's a big ticket. So make sure you go above and beyond for that first client, right? Because then that allows you to then fine tune the way you structure your time and also the deliverables. Maybe you realize you overpromised, right? Maybe you realize what you promised was way too much. I'm a big advocate also for under-promising and over-delivering, right? Under-promise, over-deliver. Because then if you get to a point in the agreement where you're like, wait a second, I can do so much more for this client this month than I promised, just go ahead and tackle one thing on. It would make their freaking day. And me personally, word of mouth referrals is my preferred business model. I hate cold calling. I hate the LinkedIn tactics that people have to try to sign clients on retainers. I would rather have a high-end client refer me to another high-end client through word of mouth, right? Because you have that layer of trust. That takes time. It takes time, right? Yeah, I'm trying to be as helpful as I can without exposing too much of a certain contract I just signed. Listen, I can't give you line for line of what I just signed, but that would be my approach. That would be my approach for sure. Under promise, over deliver. No more than a handful per month. And then that way you can surprise and delight and say, hey, I know we only promised X amount. Here's another one or two, right? Hey, right on, Sharma. Squirrel out. Hope you have a good evening. Hey, I'm glad you're finding value in that response. Trying to be as helpful as I can, Matt. Thank you for the great questions. Oh, did they now? Interesting. Really? I'm very curious about this. Let's go see. I am very curious about this. Also, may I say the chat feature is growing on me? The chat feature is growing on me? Oh, I have to update. Yeah, they just have the weekly usage. Dude, OpenAI, I hope they keep that because Grok has that as well. I don't know if it was a temporary thing, but when I was playing with Grok 4.5 the most for demos, there was no 5-hour block. It was just a weekly limit. That's it. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, you're right. Oh, and we got a 4th reset. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. And we just got another reset. What is going on here, OpenAI? Yeah, we just got another reset. Ha. Huh. Sweet. Amazing. And look at this. I'm going to be... Wow, I used a lot. That's amazing. I'll be using this definitely before the 17th to make use of it. Also, keep in mind with these resets, these are East Coast timing. So if you're Pacific Coast timed, just reset it before 9 p.m. to be safe. Because I made the mistake of not resetting before 9 p.m. I was resetting at 10 something p.m. And I couldn't use my last reset. But they also discovered that and then gave a free weekly reset for anybody who opened this part of the app, which I then got a weekly usage reset through the 19th that I've already used, about 32% of. I mean, yeah. Listen, I would love to see Anthropic's books right now, or like statistics, their analytics of usage and how many people are either canceling or, you know what I mean? Like, it's probably raised enough red flags for them to keep, like, and the way they're communicating is just absolute dog water. It's just, yeah, I think Grok doing what it did with 1/10 of the price, just as good as Opus, if not better, arguably. I think that's a big eye opener. And then also 5.6 Sol on high versus Fable 5 on high is a fraction of the cost too. It's like 1/5 on average with all of my tests so far. There's a video coming this week where I compare the two with my meter, but all of my tests has been roughly 1/5 of the cost and faster. Well, it's not always faster, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's all a net positive for the market. I don't know. There's so many people touting that enjoy all this cheap inference while it lasts. I disagree. I think if anything, things are only going to get cheaper. That's my belief. So don't listen to the fear mongering. Just don't listen to it. All right, let's see what he says here. Okay, I think we're all done there. Let's go double check. We did the memory hygiene. We did review Q&A. I need to clean these up. These were already done in past episodes. Plus, this is, I don't know why Neil put this here. We don't create the Kanban setup from scratch. It's kind of pointless. This is for episode 5. We did this today. I mean, I don't think we need this. I think if anything, the token and cost analysis is something for episode 5, our bonus episode. Okay, continue. Let's definitely do the continuity drill. And then client pod isolation plan. Do we need that today, chat? Do you guys want to see that? Or do we save that for the bonus episode? Yeah, keep in mind, apparently people, I don't know if it's for everybody, but people who were giving full disk access to Grok or whatever, IDE they were working out of or terminal, apparently a copy of your repository, whether it's public or private, gets sent to Grok servers. I'm guessing that's for training data, but nevertheless, that is concerning. That's not going to keep me from using Grok. I don't give full disk access to anything, so I don't run into some of the issues that some people run into with with agents going rogue and deleting shit and doing things they're not allowed to do. But nevertheless, just be aware of that. This is not me trying to install install fear, right? But like, oh, it was Grok build, it wasn't Grok 4.5. Got it. See, this is why I love the community. You guys fact check. You guys know better than me in most cases. So specifically Grok build, not Grok 4.5. Shoot, that can be a video this week. Oh, interesting. What about, no, Grok 4.5 in the CLI? That's not Grok build. Grok build is a specific version of Grok, right? Where are all the models? I just want to see a table, please, for the love. Yeah, Grok build, getting started, models. I just want to see a table of all the models, please. This price still blows my mind. Still blows my mind. Rumors, Gemini 3.5 Pro is a beast. Yeah. 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 I could have sworn Grok build was just a specific model you select. I could be wrong about that. Maybe my interpretation of it was just all wrong. Let me pull that off screen. Yeah, it's not going to expose anything. It's going to take me through an onboarding. I think I had that all wrong. Grok build is the Grok version of Cloud Code and Codex, isn't it? Aha. Let's just try to invoke Grok. Does it label it? It does. Grok build beta. Got it. So if you're invoking Grok in the terminal, got it. Let's update. I mean, have they mentioned anything about it on socials since? Or XAI? Yeah, I don't really see him, Grok, mentioning anything. No official posts. Where's their official Twitter? Is it SpaceX now? Oh, SpaceX AI right there. I'm not following. Let's follow. So let's go check. I know we're kind of turning this into a part grok thing. Okay, so you want to do privacy opt out. Okay, your core data will not be trained or used to improve the product. I did have it enabled by I'm guessing if you install it by default, this is enabled by default. So you have to, man, I might just make a video around this. It's going to be such an easy video to make. But that might be one of the 2 videos this week, to be honest with you. Okay. Got some clarity there. Yeah. I'm excited to try. Hey, listen, they're like, we have all these new models, all this talk about all these other models, and Gemini is just over there, just silent. Just silent. Nothing. Nothing to add. If anything, their team's getting smaller from what I noticed. People are getting fired or leaving the teams. It's like, I've been using DeepSeek for a lot of stuff. Yeah, I've been hearing good things about it as well. Yeah, okay. So you're saying the privacy concerns were only via API and not the grok sub? I mean, based off of that / privacy command, it was sharing data, so I just toggled it off. Luckily, I was mainly doing demos with it so far, so nice. Pixel fam over here. Hey, what pixel are you on? I'm still rocking a 6. I used to get every new pixel from the 1. I've been a big Google Android guy since day 1. And then I was like, you know what? I don't need to keep upgrading every single year, but now it's time. I was going to get the 10, but I decided to hold off for the 11 because I would like the opportunity to record video in log footage so I can color grade it. And they didn't enable that by default on the 10. It's my hope they do that for the 11. Regardless, I'm upgrading on the 11 because, listen, this 6 is just, it's so outdated. It's time to upgrade. Yeah, I used it for a bit too to test, but anti-gravity on Mac OS stopped working for me. I'd spent maybe 90 minutes troubleshooting it one day, and it got to the point where it's like, okay, this is creating too much friction. I'm just not going to use this anymore. And then I used anti-gravity CLI a little bit, but I'm not interested in testing those models, you know? It's not good in an agent harness. Terrible AI at tool calling. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I stopped chasing every model, but I think this 11 is going to be a good one. I'm not excited for I'd imagine they're increasing the pricing. I was going to get that 10 on sale, but I forget what happened. I forgot to buy it. And then the 1 terabyte became unavailable. I wanted the 1 terabyte and it just got out of stock. And I didn't feel like buying a cracked one on eBay. No, 2 models, mate. 4.5i different from build 0.1. You can't access build via the grok subscription. Pay via the API route. You sure about that? Maybe I'm misunderstanding your comment, but I am not paying retail API costs with Grok build in the CLI. I utilize it through my subscription, not API. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just not understanding what you're saying there. But this whole session here is all through my subscription, my Super Grok $30 a month plan. It is not API. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, your comment disappeared. I can't keep talking on it. I don't know why it does that for you, my AI tool. Nice. Did you get the 1 terabyte? I'm jealous. I wanted a new phone bad. Like this thing is, it's been great. Like it's been solid. Been solid. But it's time. It's time to move on. Wow. It's really almost 2. Yeah, your other comments disappeared on me. I can't read your full your comments before that. All right, what else were we doing? I think we were, listen, for Muddy and Neo analyzing this transcript, I think we're gonna move client pod isolation as a bonus. Token and cost analysis is a bonus, and then Agent OS roadmap we can update. Maybe we build out a video prop or a free resource for this. But we also want to build out a video prop for all of the prompts we created, especially the Sandbox SaaS master prompt that we prepared. We want to give that out as a free resource for the community. And anything else I may have missed. Yeah, listen, I think we're at a great stopping point. I think if you follow this bootcamp from start to finish, you can build your very own. If I missed anything, drop a comment below. I don't think I missed anything, but we will be hosting a bonus episode 5 to TBD as far as date and time. I just more so want to get feedback from the community after they follow the first 4 episodes to see what's missing, to see what common thread or common question keeps reoccurring. Yeah. Let's go back here. Hard refresh that. Yeah, continuity drill passed. Okay. Nice. Yeah, for me, it's like, I like recording, taking pictures. So I do want to just get the 1 terabyte. Knowing how long I kept this one, I'll probably be keeping the 11 for a significant amount of time. And I do run into storage issues on this one, which is, it's not the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world, but it's, I'd rather just have 1 terabyte so I don't have to keep doing that storage maintenance routine of mine, which is kind of just tedious at this point. Got it. I see what you mean. Got it. Yes. I'm referencing the fact that they call this in the terminal Grok build beta, right? So it's the harness to access 4.5 is right. Like, but that was my original assumption or kind of just observation that I could have sworn Grok build was a separate model from Grok 4.5. Got it. Yeah, right. I wish I could do that. That'd be awesome. Listen, the next bootcamp will depend on a few factors. The next bootcamp, I'd like to actually bring in a CEO to build with their specific niche and use case. So if you're interested in possibly being that person, let me know. You know, otherwise, listen, I'm not rushing to this next bootcamp. It's not going to happen next week. It may not even happen next month, but it'll happen, right? It'll happen when I think it's valuable enough to happen. Got it. Okay. So my original thought was correct. Got it. Are you behind on the recording? I'm agreeing with you. I understand. All right. Agent Atlas also we'll work on this on Wednesday. Make sure that this is actually ready to share by Thursday, maybe. Maybe we rush out a video this week. I'm not sure. Let's just double check on this. You're right. Restoration bullet. Okay. Okay, that's just a raw JSON. Got it. Got it. Well, we'll focus on Grok on another episode, right? This is all about Hermes Agent. We're working primarily out of GPT 5.6 Sol. But I think with all this Grok news, a Grok video is due this week, as well as whether we do that partly Wednesday or partly Friday, we'll definitely be working with Grok on these live streams. Because I've just been thrilled with all my tests so far and the demos I've created, like want to use more of it. And we're also working on a little side project to deploy a Hermes Agent system solely using our Grok, Super Grok sub for that matter. So I'm very excited to start building in public with that one. But yeah, hey, listen, I think we're at a great stopping point. Drop a comment below if you're watching this recording and you think we may have missed something in this bootcamp series. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's brought you value. I hope that just watching the build from start to finish has given you that foundational knowledge to build your own, more importantly, rather than just copying step for step, right? The whole purpose of this isn't to copy me. It's to build your own version of what we're building, right? You're more than welcome to copy me. I don't care, right? But yeah, stay tuned. We will be doing an episode 5. And then at that point, I'll splice all of those episodes together into one master video at some point. But due to the amount of time we squirrel, I'm going to have to go through every single hour and make sure that I skip the squirrel moments, that we go straight through the boot camp and then we structure it accordingly. That'll be a fun one to do. Pause not. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for stopping by, everybody for spending their weekend with me, their Monday with me. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, AI. Thank you, Alls. Thank you, Lars. Yeah, thank you, Lars. Thank you, Sharma. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Yunder. And I can't keep scrolling up. I've scrolled as far as I can scroll. So hope everybody has a great start to the week. Go kick ass. And we'll be back at it Wednesday, same time. Until then, happy building. Cheers. Yeah, you too, Mr. Baker. Thank you.